Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It's good to be with you all, and you know what time it is. It's the time that we talk about more amazing works by amazing developers out there that I get to share with all of you. Hey everyone, I hope you're well, playing and making the games that you all love. You're joining me, your host, Max Pears, as we discuss many great things such as game design, level design, and much more, game development, and discussing the process, the theory, experiences, and interviewing amazing developers. Now here is, for those of you who know, for those of you who are new to joining us, this is the essential reading. This is where I get to discuss amazing work by other developers because I do not know everything, and there is amazing work by my brothers and sisters in this industry who just do incredible work. So I always want to give them a shout out because you've got to show respect for everyone's hard work. Now it's been about 2, maybe just shy of 3 weeks since I've actually recorded an episode. Those of you who know, I've moved apartments, so that's been extremely hectic for me. And it's all settled in now. I feel much better in terms of the place, so it's all cool. So yeah, all good now. But it's great to finally be back here with all of you and get to discuss. Now this will be a slightly shorter one just because of time. This was supposed to come out yesterday, but due to, again, me moving apartments and settling in, didn't really have time to. So we're making up for it by a little bit late here. Before we get into it though, we have to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, which is Outstandly.com. Outstandly.com is a great place where you can get your art and animations for your games outsourced to in terms to make even better. If you're watching the YouTube video right now, you'll see that they do an absolute range of different styles and variety and do what's best that's for your game, with a great team behind it that are super friendly, as well as able to just sit down and listen to what your vision is. So if you're looking to create a game and make it even better, I cannot recommend checking out Outstandly enough. And if you do want to use them, then make sure that you use the promo code Level Design Lobby or mention that you come from this show, and they will give you not only either a discount but actually additional work on top, whether that be an extra animation or maybe some UI assets. All of that will be there right for you as long as you mention that you've come from today's podcast. Thank you very much to Outstandly.com. A link of them will be in the description down below. And thank you so much. And now let's get back to the show. Okay, everyone, let's just go straight into the first one. Now, this here is by Game Maker's Toolkit. Many of you will know Game Maker's Toolkit, and it's talking about how level design can tell a story. I was very fortunate enough to talk to Mark upon the topic of level design. He wanted to go and discuss that of environmental storytelling. So it's a good one about that. It was great to talk to him. This, I think, the second time we've discussed something about a video. So it's always nice to chat, and for him as a former journalist to be so inquisitive. Always respect that, and I think he's doing a great job to bring attention to development. And I don't know if it's him or who edits those videos, but they're so well put together. But it's talking again, like I mentioned, about environmental storytelling, breaking down what you can do without using words or dialogue within the levels that you make that can tell a story, that can hook players and inform them on the overall world lore of the space that the player is actually moving through themselves. Is a good one. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say, all of these will be in the link in the description down below. So do be able to go check that out, whether you listen through the podcast app, YouTube, SoundCloud. Just hit show more, and you'll see a link to all of these amazing resources. Now, with the first one, we're going to then move on to Numero Dos. For those of you who haven't seen, there is a new indie game. I don't even know how to describe it. I guess like a beat them up. I don't think that gives it just it. But it's called Bloodroots. Bloodroots, as mentioned, is a action kind of isometric game. in which you take on the role of a absolute insane, crazy, I don't even know how to describe it, like animalistic man, like I have no way to describe it, and go on taking on all the crazy world. It kind of reminds me that of Katana Zero, as well as Shiv. Kind of reminds me of that. But this article is on Gamasutra, and it's called Behind the Jackie Chan Inspired Combat of Blood Roots. We talk about combat quite a bit because it is a very big element of game design as we know it. And there's going from, in the article you see a few GIFs themselves of the crazy things that players can do, from rolling onto barrels, using the environment and the props around them to create cool combos as well as memorable moments. I don't know if you actually have any style points on this, but just the amount of crazy things they can do. And I'm also amazed on how they've taken it from Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan, who, those of you who don't know, is I don't know if he was an ex, I think he's still doing it. He's a film star, used to be a stunt double for Bruce Lee, but then ended up going into making his own style of martial arts. His films are fantastic, and he does some great things. So seeing how they've actually taken that style of fighting and added it into their game is very intriguing. And I really like the breakdown of this, so do go and check that one out. Again, this is on Gamasutra. Next we have that of the level design workshop, The Illusion of Choice. This is by a level designer at Epic Games called Jim Brown. He's breaking down the psychology of understanding how people actually make choices, and then showing how we can do it as well as how they did it within their game. Now, we've spoken about this a lot, and a lot of other amazing designers and developers will talk about this. But it's a great way to help players feel more engaged by giving the players choices. When you can get to a T-junction, do you go left or do you go right? Giving that player the choice instantly makes the player feel that they are much more in control, that they've made this choice, and that it's not done by the actual designer themselves. So a very good one. Again, psychology plays such a big role, and I do recommend just checking it out. I really have enjoyed this one, because again, I've said it so many times on different episodes, but psychology is so important, and just understanding how people's brains work can really help us get the best and the most out of our levels.
At Level Design Lobby, we believe everybody has a story to tell. Hobbyist or student, freelancer or veteran, we made it our mission to unite those who share our passion for creating and developing great games. Thanks to our generous Patreon backers, we've been able to do just that. So if you've already pledged your support, thank you. If not, you too can ensure the future of Level Design Lobby, helping us to create even more exciting content, collaborations, interviews, and much more. With awesome perks and rewards, whether you're a seasoned professional or just getting started, you're sure to find something for you. Want to share tips, tricks, and advice with passionate, like-minded developers? Our awesome community Discord has you covered. Fancy practicing your level design, creating strong portfolio content, and having fun? Then try our level design weekends. Or perhaps you want to individually discuss your work, hone your skills, or level up your career? Then consider our one-on-one mentorships. If you share our vision, then go to patreon.com/level design lobby for more information and to pledge your support. Thank you.
Now, the next one is actually kind of a stranger request / recommendation, but it is that of Final Fantasy VII, the Remake's demo. This is just launched on PS4, I believe, and it's free for you to go check out the demo itself. Now, I got to play a snippet of this back at E3 last year, and to see that the whole demo is out there, I'm sure many of you have already seen this, but you haven't, I do recommend checking this out. I've not played this new demo yet. I think I'll do that on Twitch at some point, if not tomorrow. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. But I'm excited to see this. Now, RPGs aren't known for their level design. However, because of the fact that Final Fantasy VII is such a big moment within game development, a big kind of pinnacle of what it represented as being one of the all-time greatest games, I do strongly recommend checking it out, whether you have played the original or not. just to see, because I think the fact that they're doing this, we had Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 coming out, I think it's important to see how games have been adapted, as well as understanding why they were so great. Now, we don't know if this is going to be as big of an impact as the previous one, but I think it's safe to give it a try at least to see what they're doing. So I do recommend checking this one out, team. Now, this one is going to be number 5. Now, for those of you who don't know, we've got a great man who has just been cracking out tons of articles, and that is, and I'm so sorry, man, I'm going to mispronounce your web name, and that is by Julius Cosmo. Man, I'm so sorry, sir, I'm going to butcher your last name. Onsku, who is, as you know, a senior designer, level designer over across at Machine Games, previously working at Ubisoft. As I mentioned, he's just been smashing out tons of amazing articles recently. It seems to be his New Year's resolution. Great guy, just really enjoy his work. And he's done a few, but this one is one that I want to really look into because it's not something we as level designers always get to do, especially when you're making open world games. But he's talking about level design by subdivision of space. And it's kind of breaking down within the open world, how do you take on the streets around it? How do you break out not just where your level is, but the streets around it? How do you take advantage of it? What do you use it for? And how this all works into it. How do you divide this space up in order to make it feel important, as well as to guide players? So as I said, check this one out. Not only his article on this topic, but he's also got many other amazing topics out there, which are fantastic. And hopefully we'll be having him on the podcast very, very soon. So with that said then, do check that out. Now this is where we're going to wrap up today's show. So I just want to say thank you so much. Sorry for the delay. Oh, actually, one more, because this is going to be the shameless plug, which we know I'm all known for at this point. But I teamed up recently with Game Wisdom, a channel that breaks down game design theory, in which I got to sit down and discuss open world games, which relates to what Julius was talking about as well, and talking about how they're made, how they're crafted. And it was a great talk. It's about an hour long. So again, I recommend that if you want to hear more of my sultry tones. But yeah, thank you all very, very much. If you do want to get in contact with me, you can do so through email, which is leveldesignlobby@gmail.com. You can get in contact with me also on Twitter, which is @MaxPairs. I do apologise, everyone, because I've not been on activist Twitter as much, again, moving, so I've not been actually playing as much as I would have liked to. That's for sure. If you want to support the show, then please head over to patreon.com. Not only this, I know a lot of people are looking for kind of more mentorships on how to get into level design. I do offer this program, so if you are interested, do just message me and we can talk about it. I've had some amazing people now who've taken the mentorship, and when I say this, I am only 0.5% an impact on what they have done, but people have gone on to now work at Avalanche Games, 4A Games, THQ Nordic. All of them have come through and been amazing designers themselves. I've just given some little advice, tweaks, and they're now in the industry themselves doing fantastic things. So if you're interested in that, do check out the Patreon. And yeah, everyone, I think that's going to wrap it up. Great to chat to you all. Appreciate you, and catch you all next time.